Today I want to bring the House's attention to a report that was the subject of a private member's motion in the Dáil last Thursday night: accessibility of public transport for people with disabilities. It's a fine piece of work that took place over a period of time with that committee last year under the chairmanship of Fergus O'Dowd, and it reported in November. It was unanimously agreed by the House on Thursday night. The Minister, in fairness, Shane Ross, has agreed to come before that committee every 6 months. He will do so on the 22nd of April this year to respond to the, I think it is 16 recommendations. I'm very pleased that that is happening. At the same time, there was a young lady mentioned in the debate that night, of Victoria Matthews, by one of the deputies. And she has written to me: "Dear Senator Dolan, I'm writing to you in regard to the report that is to be discussed in the Dáil today. I'm a wheelchair user from Ballyshannon, County Donegal. I've applied to do a degree, Applied Sports and Business in Sligo IT. Bus Air and Customer Services has told Sligo IT that it has no accessibility on the route between Ballyshannon and Sligo. I hope you can speak on my behalf on this matter. I survive on disability allowance and do not have a car. I rely on the goodwill of family members to take me shopping, to the doctors, to physiotherapy, etc. And to do lots of, as do lots of other people in my situation. Under the Equality Act 2000 to 2004, I should not be discriminated against. I should be able to use public transport to meet my needs. In this case, I would like an accessible bus to be put on Route 480, Ballyshannon to Sligo. I've started a petition to achieve this, and I'm trying to highlight the need for accessible transport nationwide. She's over 2,000 people already that have signed up to this. It's unfair," she goes on to say, "that people with disabilities, where the route is accessible, have to give 24 to 48-hour notice." I hope that you will stand up for people in this human rights issue, and I'd be hoping that our Oireachtas will do similar. This is about fairness and opportunity. We've invested heavily and rightly in the education of young people with disabilities over the last decade to 2 decades. They need to be able to move on. So this is an example of an issue that is preventing that. Let me come to a conclusion by saying also from last week, the Secretary-General of the National Bus and Rail Union, Dermot O'Leary, made the following statement publicly: "The NRBU will continue to campaign for appropriate funding for public transport. We will continue to advocate for our transport service to remain in public ownership. We'll also turn our attention," this is the critical bit, "we will also turn our attention away from the spotlight of what may appear to some to be constantly speaking about transport disruption, to concentrate our energies and focus and work on issues around the harsh coalface of industrial strife, working with all organisations, including those from across the political spectrum, to ensure that the most vulnerable amongst us, those with disabilities, will have equal access to public transport. This particular issue, for us at least, holds as much significance as striving to achieve improvements for our members." And I'm over time, Cathaoirleach. In that spirit, I would hope that our public services and our Oireachtas would not be found wanting to make sure that accessibility of public transport is moved on speedily for people with disabilities. Gora Mahagut, and thank you for your tolerance, Cathaoirleach.
Thank you.